Hold on. Is that what I think it is? I ain't trying to point it out because they won't call me police, chat. That ain't what I think it is. Hold up.
Fans who thought they'd see rapper NBA YoungBoy perform this Saturday are now left disappointed and also confused. State Farm Arena canceled the concert, no explanation.
Come to the front door with your hands up. Do it now.
Okay. Keep coming. Hands on top of your head. On top of your head. Here we go.
Stop right there for me, please.
NBA YoungBoy just broke the internet in a way that makes Hollywood scandals look like kindergarten scuffles. Because the whispers floating through fan pages and comment sections are sounding like a plot twist, ripped straight out of a Netflix crime doc. According to the loudest corners of the web, the rapper's latest madness, a high voltage, chaos-charged track called BossManeDlow Top Mix went so viral, so explosively fast, that it allegedly triggered the kind of legal heat that doesn't arrive with polite phone calls, but with knock-knock surprises and a very unfriendly badge. People are saying the numbers were suspiciously high, the lyrics were too bold, and the timing was cosmically cursed. Like the moment that song hit trending charts, somebody's hand hit a warrant button and the energy online. Nuclear. Fans screaming that the track was so raw it shook the system. Trolls declaring the feds took it personally. Commenters analyzing bars like they were encrypted confessions. Suddenly, theories spread faster than the audio. Did the song expose something? Did he taunt the wrong power? Or was the track just too scorching for the universe to tolerate without consequences? Grab your helmet and emotional seatbelt, because if the rumors are even half true, this situation makes the Kardashians look like a knitting club the internet didn't. Ease into this theory calmly, it leaped headfirst. Like a crowd spotting an alien ship landing behind a Taco Bell. 1 minute BossManeDlow Top Mix was just another YoungBoy track blowing up YouTube. Counts like malfunctioning slot machines, and the next. Comment sections swore they saw digital smoke coming from the justice system. People acted like streaming that song twice would summon a federal agent to their window. It didn't matter that there was zero confirmed paperwork or any real legal move. The rumor spiraled anyway, powered by fan hysteria, meme fuel, and conspiracy logic strong enough to make tinfoil hats feel inadequate. The entire frenzy started when fans noticed how violently that track was climbing. The plays weren't rising, they were detonating. Charts glitched, reaction channels recorded emergency breakdowns, and hip-hop Twitter began digging through lyrics like they were scanning top-secret files. Someone posted that the numbers were too fast to be legal. Another claimed the bars were coded messages. None of it had proof, of course. But proof is optional when the internet collectively decides a song is dangerous. Suddenly, the imagination of millions turned to viral. Hit into a mythical trigger event that allegedly brought legal heat crashing down. Whispers ballooned into threads. Threads mutated into theories. Theories mutated into evidence. Clips of YoungBoy pacing in a studio got slowed down and captioned like prophetic signs. People claimed his silence was suspicious, as if a man not live streaming for 24 hours meant he was trapped in a holding cell. Some swore the track's energy challenged the system. Others insisted it rattled the wrong egos. Nobody knew who the system even was, but vagueness was half the entertainment. It made everything sound like a thriller with a million unseen villains pulling strings in office buildings. No one could locate on a map the moment someone typed. They snatched him after that song took off. The internet locked onto it like a hawk spotting prey. It spread like glitter, impossible to remove once it touched anything. People shared it, screenshotted it, reacted to it, and treated the rumor like gospel. Think pieces popped up debating whether music can spark dire consequences. Fans quoted unrelated lyrics as proof that YoungBoy predicted the chaos. The more chaotic the explanations, the more viral they became. And because YoungBoy's legacy already feels like a running biography of controversy, nobody stopped to question believability. They just leaned in, ready for popcorn. Reaction pages started labeling the track as the song that brought heat. They joked the playlist police pulled up with flashing sirens the second the beat dropped. One meme showed agents kicking down doors mid-chorus, looking personally offended by his flow. It was satire, obviously, but the internet has never needed reality to spark scandal. If anything, the lack of real evidence made the rumor juicier. People filled the blanks with their own imaginations. Convinced the track struck some invisible nerve the moment it hit trending. Fans began digging deeper, scanning bars like decoding riddles from ancient temples. Random metaphors were labeled confessions. Normal punchlines were rebranded as statements. Regular wordplay got treated like encrypted truth bombs. It didn't matter whether any of it was logical. What mattered was how it felt. And the vibe around that song felt charged, like someone dared the universe to blink first. Thematically, the track had that usual young boy fire, that gritty roar of a man rapping like the booth is a battlefield. So when people tied that energy to consequences, the rumor evolved from simple speculation to a cultural meme turned half-serious investigation. That's when the debate exploded. Was the rumor symbolic, sarcastic, or secretly true on some cosmic level? Commenters acted like music algorithms were federal informants. Tweets claimed the numbers were too aggressive and triggered some mythical alarm. You'd think Spotify had a nuclear siren that went off when a track hit 1 million plays too fast. It didn't, but imagination did the heavy lifting. The more unbelievable it sounded, the harder people leaned into it. Because nothing goes viral faster than a theory that sounds forbidden, edgy, or weirdly spiritual. Influencers jumped in. Some laughed, calling it hip-hop urban legend. Others posted what-if videos where half of the story was ominous, slow zooms, and dramatic piano music. One YouTuber claimed the viral storm around the track summoned legal attention by pure aura. No sources, no intel, just vibes. And yet, the comment section still erupted with theories, all insisting something felt off, whether they believed the rumor or just enjoyed the spectacle. They treated the discussion like a bingo card of chaos, symbolism, undercover agents, mysterious timing, corporate panic, all of it thrown into the pot. YoungBoy's fanbase only fueled the flames. They treated him like a mythic rebel, capable of shaking structures by simply dropping a beat. His long history of tension with authority made the internet leap straight to dramatic assumptions. If any other artist dropped a viral mix, the story would be song trending. But YoungBoy? They said trending too violently. They claimed somebody out there tracked the spike in plays and hit an invisible button. It was all speculation, but the confidence behind. It made the rumor sound thick enough too. Then came the so-called signs, screenshots of his profile going inactive for hours turned into case evidence. Random posts disappearing got labeled a purge. A missed story upload became digital arrest proof. Fans acted like every pixel on his feed was a clue. And the more they searched, the more coincidences they invented. Everything fit the narrative if you tilted your perspective just enough. Online detectives treated silence like sirens and inactivity like handcuffs. Not because it was true, but because it made the rumor irresistible. Music analysts jumped in to dissect the impact of BossManeDlow Top Mix. They broke down the push, the virality, the speed. Some called it fan-driven combustion. Others joked the algorithm must have been bribed. A few insisted the track felt dangerous even without literal danger. But all of them agreed on one thing: the energy was explosive. People were obsessed. Debates flooded feeds like stormwater. Whether it was all symbolic or literal didn't matter. The narrative had taken a life of its own. In hip-hop culture, rumors become folklore, and folklore becomes entertainment. What made the entire saga funnier was how normal life around YoungBoy carried on. No mugshots, no statements, no confirmed reports. Just the rumor floating like a balloon everybody refused to pop, even without a single shred of evidence. Not a timestamp, not a document, not a post indicating trouble. The conspiracy remained alive. Why? Because the concept of a track being too viral to be safe was hilarious, thrilling, and chaotic enough to satisfy social media's appetite for dramatized mythology. Fans compared it to urban legends that circulate through school hallways. Someone swears they heard from a friend of a cousin that a line triggered massive backlash. Another claimed a lyric hinted at knowing too much. Hypothetical, ironic, sensational. But the entertainment value made it feel worth believing, even temporarily. Meanwhile, reaction channels got record views dissecting theories like professors of chaos studies. They paused bars, slowed pronunciations, treated ad-libs like Morse code. By the time the rumor reached full virality, no one cared whether it was factual anymore. It became collective storytelling, a cultural meme, a playful conspiracy rooted in the idea that YoungBoy's power, his persona, and unpredictability were so strong a song could shake imaginary walls. The scandal lived not in truth, but in emotion. Not in facts, but in fascination. And that fascination stretched the saga into something bigger than any lyric or stream count. Because in the end, the story wasn't YoungBoy arrested. Was YoungBoy too powerful? The internet treated his track like a riot siren set to 808 sub-bass. People projected their imaginations onto his silence, his intensity, and the legend he built in music culture. Rumor became performance art, and the scandal grew not because anyone confirmed it, but because nobody wanted to admit it was just a meme dressed up like a mystery. It was just a meme dressed up like a mystery. The rumor didn't die down overnight. It mutated, evolved, grew extra heads like a hydra made of fan theories. TikTok edits turned BossManeDlow top mix into the soundtrack of digital detective montages. Users layered the beat under clips of agents storming buildings, courtroom sketches, flashing sirens, and dramatic narrations ripped from true crime podcasts. On one side, fans were laughing at the absurdity. On the other, people swore they were onto something insane. Nobody agreed on anything except that the rumor was addictive. Whether people believed it literally or treated it as hip-hop fanfiction, they couldn't look away. Celebrity commentary intensified the snowball. A battle rapper posted a joke tweet asking whether YoungBoy rapped too hard and set off government alarms. An underground producer wrote that viral numbers like that couldn't be natural, even if they were just trolling. Their platforms gave the rumor oxygen. Cynics called it delusion. Supporters called it prophecy. Everyone else just wanted the chaos to keep going long enough for another twist to enchant the timeline. Because nothing grips the modern internet harder than a scandal with no source, just endless possibility. As more eyeballs landed on the theory, TikTok sleuths began dragging old clips into the narrative. A moment where YoungBoy stepped away from camera. Mid-studio session suddenly became footage right before everything went down. A silent stare in a music video was replayed as a coded message. When someone found an old interview where he joked about never needing validation. Conspiracy fans twisted it into evidence that he knew this storm was coming. It didn't matter that the timeline was random. Certainty wasn't required. Only vibes. Even the melody of the track took on mythical weight. Some said it sounded too triumphant, as if it belonged in the climax of a biopic where the hero outsmarts invisible enemies. Others claimed the aggressive tone felt like rebellion. Few pages even described the mix like it was cursed audio, the kind that leaves static buzzing in your skull. Pure exaggeration, obviously, but the theatrics made the rumor feel cinematic. People weren't just discussing a song, they were myth-building, turning YoungBoy's artistry into folklore with a punchline. Edge, the funniest twist came when memes started implying that listening to the track more than 3 times would put your name on a secret watch list. People posted screenshots pretending they received warning notifications. Someone edited a fake FBI email accusing them of streaming suspicious material. It was satire turned performance art, and viewers ate it up like popcorn. Commenters wrote, "I just got an alert after the 3rd play. Should I lawyer up?" The replies were jokes stacked on jokes, but that height of absurdity made the rumor paradoxically more iconic. And then there were the breakdown channels. The ones with deep voice narrators talking like every word is a clue that might solve a case. They paused each lyric, amplified whispers behind ad-libs. Claimed background noises in the mix were symbolic signals. It was entertainment, but framed with just enough seriousness to keep the conspiracy glowing. A few even invented terms like lyrical trigger codes while wearing straight faces. Their audiences didn't always believe them, but that wasn't the point. The point was curiosity wrapped in theatrics. Journalists and critics joined the mess, though mostly with sarcasm. Hip-hop magazines ran headlines like, "Did the internet just arrest Young Boy thematically?" And "New viral track inspires government-level conspiracy." Analysts discussed how modern fandom blurs lines between reality and fantasy. Some argued that meme culture rewires how audiences digest an artist's work, turning artists into legends even when the legend is silly. Others claimed this rumor was proof that Young Boy's aura in rap is so strong that people believe his music could trigger cosmic consequences. Meanwhile, the man at the center of it all stayed silent. No live rant. No public post. No clever bar mocking the rumor. Just nothing. And that nothingness was gasoline on the spark. Because when someone normally reacts loudly but suddenly doesn't, the absence becomes louder than noise. Theories multiplied faster. Commenters wrote essays insisting silence equals symbolism. Even a random clip of him walking into a studio was captioned with "Free him even if he's not locked." The fantasy of the rumor was stronger than the lack of evidence. Other rappers chimed in playfully, adding fuel to the fire without saying a word directly. Someone dropped laughing emojis under a fan theory thread. Another artist posted a snippet implying some songs shake the room too much. The ambiguity was delicious, because nobody clarified whether they were joking. Hip-hop has always thrived on aura, mythology, symbolism, and this rumor was a buffet of all 3. People quoted bars that sounded intense and turned them into prophetic warnings like ancient scriptures. Reaction channels, gossip pages, and fan-edit accounts weaponized the speculation like it was an Olympic sport. They exaggerated everything. Screenshots of his Spotify numbers became evidence. His lack of recent interviews was labeled smoke. A simple video of him looking focused was spun as the face of someone who knows more than he's allowed to, saying nobody could prove anything, and that was the best part. The contradiction between zero facts and maximum. Hysteria made the rumor feel like urban mythology baptized in beats. The track's success only strengthened the superstition. Streams skyrocketed. Comment sections went feral. Listeners said they replayed the mix just to test the theory. People treated it like a musical dare, the sonic equivalent of Bloody Mary in the mirror. Half the world knew it was nonsense, and still they played along. Because entertainment thrives on illusion, tension, and edge. And this rumor had all 3. Public enemies and viral stories are usually villains. Young Boy became something more abstract, a symbol of rebellion. So intense that fans joked authorities felt threatened by his career trajectory. They exaggerated his presence into something almost supernatural. "They can't cage energy like his," one commenter wrote. "Even if it's all rumor, the fear proves he's powerful." Fiction. Absolutely. But that fiction made fans feel like they were part of an underground legend. Critics tried stepping in with rationality, explaining the viral arc, algorithm surges, and fan momentum behind the track's success. But logic can't compete with spectacle, because nobody wanted a boring breakdown when conspiracy felt poetic. Logic lacked the drama, the meme potential, the adrenaline that made the rumor sparkle in the first place. The culture wanted a myth, not a fact sheet. What fascinated everyone most was how believable the rumor felt despite zero grounding. That's the twisted brilliance of celebrity internet culture. Once a narrative is entertaining enough, it earns its own kind of truth. Not factual truth, emotional truth. Symbolic truth. Archetype-level truth. YoungBoy's persona is tied to conflict, defiance, volatility, and survival. So fans projected that persona onto a viral track, sculpting a storyline where the energy of the music was so explosive that invisible forces reacted. No arrest, no records, no confirmations. Just endless what-ifs wrapped in entertainment value strong enough to dominate timelines for days. People didn't need accuracy, they wanted spectacle. And the rumor became a spectacle big enough to entertain millions without a single anchor in reality. By the time the frenzy peaked, nobody remembered where the rumor started or who posted it first. It became community folklore. It became mythological canon. A strange chapter in internet culture where a song was treated like a detonator. Its success framed like a blow to imaginary power structures. And all because YoungBoy's name, voice, and energy are powerful enough that fans treat his music like spiritual events. No one needed facts. They just needed the possibility, the sweet, strange thrill of believing a track went so hard that reality blinked, and the internet panicked as the rumor reached peak absurdity. The aftermath settled like glitter dust, impossible to sweep away, permanently stuck to every corner of YoungBoy's digital footprint. Fans who never believed a single word still found themselves watching reaction videos just in case. Others leaned in so hard you'd think they were preparing legal briefs. The scandal wasn't alive because it was true. It was alive because the culture felt electric, pretending it might be. And that emotional electricity pumped through every timeline, like caffeine in the bloodstream of hip-hop fans. Every new post from YoungBoy sparked shockwaves of overanalysis. If he shared a random emoji, theorists claimed it represented coded communication from a man in captivity. If he posted a snippet of another track, people said it sounded like post-release freedom bars. Silence became prophetic. Noise sounded strategic. Even his normal energy, that stoic storm cloud intensity, became fuel for myth builders convinced something heavy lingered behind his eyes. It was a social experiment in real time. What happens when a meme mutates into folklore? Music analysts eventually turned the rumor into think piece material. Podcasts dissected the phenomenon like it was a sociology case study. They questioned whether YoungBoy's long history with controversy made his fanbase predisposed to assume he was living in a thriller plot instead of real life. Others argued that people projected rebellion onto BossManeDlow so intensely that the track became a pop culture symbol of untouchable expression. Some called the entire saga performance art. They weren't mocking. They meant it literally. The audience, the rumor, the song, all part of a shared hallucination built from fandom adrenaline and internet surrealism. Meanwhile, the track itself kept skyrocketing, fueled not only by its sound, but by the hysteria wrapped around it. Listeners streamed it like a ritual, joking about unlocking the metaphorical vault. Teens blasted it on speakers, pretending the bass line shook imaginary satellites. Reaction channels recorded full-body responses like they were hearing a forbidden transmission. The sarcasm became devotion, and devotion built mystique. Fan culture can birth entire legends simply by wanting them badly enough. And that's exactly what happened here. The funniest irony is that the rumor never needed a villain. It pointed to invisible forces, unnamed they, unseen decision-makers lurking in metaphorical shadows. People spoke about getting too loud, rattling the system, or triggering higher eyes. But nobody ever defined what that meant. Yet the vagueness only made it richer. Because mysteries with undefined antagonists feel bigger, darker, more cinematic. And if YoungBoy's persona already lived on the razor edge of authority tension, then fans weren't imagining something new. They were amplifying a myth that was already embedded in his artistic DNA. In the aftermath, his reputation didn't crack. It evolved. Even those who rolled their eyes at the theory admitted they liked the idea that YoungBoy's energy in the booth felt that potent. They admitted the legend added a fresh dimension to the track's hype. He didn't become a liability, he became folklore material, a figure whose music was so intense, so primal, so charged with conviction that the internet pretended invisible alarms went off when it went viral. That's the kind of mythology most artists would pay millions to manufacture. YoungBoy's fandom built it for free. His silence became the punchline and the crown jewel. People expected a denial, a rant, a trolling jab, anything. But his refusal to acknowledge the rumor looked like the ultimate flex, like a man too unbothered to swat at flies. And that calmness turned him from participant to legend. If someone denied the joke, it would have died. If someone fought it, it would have fizzled. But by giving it nothing, he let it snowball until the story became bigger than evidence ever could. Reaction channels started, calling it the greatest non-scandal scandal of 2025. Bloggers named it the BossMane. Myth, TikTok stitched clips to dramatic music, narrating the saga as if it were a documentary trailer. Even professional critics, normally allergic to internet nonsense, acknowledged that the rumor was fascinating in a metacultural way. Proof that the modern world loves stories more than facts, spectacle more than evidence, and symbolic rebellion more than literal rebellion. And in that reflective haze, listeners started asking deeper questions. Why was the world so quick to imagine a man locked up by the cosmos after dropping a viral hit? Why did fans romanticize the idea of repercussion by vibes? The answer, whispered in meme logic, was simple. YoungBoy's music already sounded like a war drum. His bars always carried emotional violence, psychological tension, heart-and-edge fury. So people projected narrative intensity onto the track because it felt like an anthem with battled teeth. BossManeDlow Top Mix sounded like a soundtrack for impossible consequences, even if the consequences never existed. In the cultural afterglow, the rumor stopped being literal. It transformed into legend, the idea that YoungBoy's artistry exists outside normal creative space. The myth said his voice is too explosive, his bars too confrontational, his momentum too disruptive for the universe to absorb without glitching. None of it factual, all of it emotional. And that emotion shaped perception more dramatically than truth ever could. Music historians might someday write about the incident like it was an art culture moment, a spontaneous social fantasy where the audience wasn't mocking their hero, but elevating him, turning him into a mythic disruptor whose music radiated consequences that didn't exist outside imagination. Fans carved a crown from thin air, and the lack of reality didn't weaken the myth, it strengthened it. Because legends don't require proof, only belief. Even after the rumor faded from trending lists, it stayed in comments like graffiti etched into concrete. People wrote jokes like "play it too loud" and "the universe files paperwork." Others said that mix sounded like a lockdown alert. Someone else wrote, "No bars, no cuffs, just energy too high for existence." Whether sarcastic or sincere, the myth lived on as a cultural inside joke coded into the track's legacy. YoungBoy didn't have to say a single word. His silence became the final chapter in the strange cultural novella that the internet authored without permission. And when he resurfaced with new music, new snippets, new lyrics, people still winked at the legend. Fans joked that streaming his next song might trigger Phase 2. Influencers teased that maybe the reason for the silence was creative incubation rather than scandal solitude. Everyone knew the story was exaggerated fiction, yet it clung like perfume, invisible, lingering, unforgettable. Because at its core, the saga wasn't about accusations. It wasn't about policing. It wasn't even about YoungBoy himself. It was about myth-building born from the emotional electricity of fandom culture. A collective hallucination sparked by a viral track, powerful enough to make listeners feel like something cosmic flexed when the beat dropped. A mass moment of entertainment disguised as rumor and packaged like forbidden intel. And in that bizarre mythology, YoungBoy came out untouchable. Nobody saw him as scandalized. They saw him as too intense for the system, too powerful for mundane life, too charged for anything normal. He became an energy source instead of a man, an archetype instead of an artist, someone whose work ignited folklore, like sparks hitting dry field grass. The aftermath wasn't apology or denial, it was cultural imprint. The legend carved itself into hip-hop conversation like a tattoo no one expected, but everyone weirdly admired. Fans will laugh about it years from now, telling the tale the same way people share campfire ghost stories. Kids who weren't even there will hear about the time YoungBoy dropped a mix so raw the internet swore. Invisible forces reacted. And they'll believe the story not because it happened, but because the excitement behind it still vibrates through the culture that birthed it. That's the final irony. The real scandal wasn't the rumor that he got locked up. It was the proof that imagination still owns the internet. That fans would rather believe in invisible consequence than accept that sometimes a track just goes viral because it hits too hard. That legends don't need events, only a spark. And BossManeDlow Top Mix became that spark. A sonic wildfire that set imaginations ablaze. A moment where fantasy outran fact. A reminder that YoungBoy's cultural gravity is so intense that people built an entire alternate timeline just to explain the energy they felt surging through a pair of headphones. If you made it to the end of this madness, salute yourself. You just survived a cultural fever dream where a viral track turned into a full-blown myth with more twists than a premium HBO finale. BossManeDlow Top Mix didn't just trend, it triggered a digital hallucination. Theories flew, memes ascended, and the internet built an invisible storyline just because the beat hit harder than common sense. Whether you laughed, believed, or floated somewhere in the chaos between, one thing's undeniable: YoungBoy's presence is so charged that even rumors feel nuclear. So before the next wild theory launches into orbit, smash that like button like you're trying to break a stubborn padlock. Drop your craziest interpretation of this whole saga in the comments. The more unhinged, the better. And make sure you hit subscribe like you're pounding a courtroom gavel, because around here, we don't just report rumors. We turn them into cinematic universes wrapped in 808 drums and smoke. This space is pure scandal energy. The home of explosive commentary. The headquarters for breakdowns nobody asked for, but everyone watches anyway. If the internet invents another myth, if another track sparks mass hysteria, if YoungBoy sneezes and somebody claims it shook the music industry, you already know where the first breakdown is landing. And it won't be watered down, because legends don't sleep. Conspiracies don't retire. Viral chaos doesn't come with breaks, and neither do we. Stick around, stay loud, keep streaming. And brace yourself, because the next rumor could hit harder than this one. This is Rap Rain, where the drama bangs louder. The beats go darker, and every mic drop shakes the culture. And every mic drop shakes the culture.